All right, let's dive right in and unpack the somewhat hidden and occasionally terrifying realities of operating AI agents in production environments. Look, if you're a cloud architect, a database administrator, or anywhere in IT ops, you already know the truth. Deploying new technology, that's barely half the battle. The actual test is keeping the thing running predictably and securely once it's out in the wild. So today we're going to tear down the anatomy of a real AI incident and figure out exactly how you can survive production by mastering agent observability. I want you to picture this absolute nightmare scenario for a second. It's 2:17 a.m., your pager goes off, your AI engine just retried an internal tool 5 times in a row, touched highly sensitive customer data, absolutely nuked your token budget, and to top it all off, returned a confidently wrong answer to the user. This right here, this is exactly why those flashy AI demos you see on social media mean literally nothing when the system breaks in the real world. You get that alert, but you have zero idea what the agent actually did. You're just staring at the outputs, crossing your fingers that the mysterious black box behind them made a logical decision. For enterprise teams, we all know that's completely unacceptable. We need hard evidence. So to make sure you can actually solve that 2 a.m. crisis, we're going to systematically walk through building a modern observability architecture. We'll cover the AI agent incident, moving from prompts to traces, the new failure taxonomy, production architecture and security, telemetry and tooling options, and we'll wrap up with your day one action plan. All right, section 1, the AI agent incident. Let's look at exactly why our classic, trusty IT ops tools fall completely flat when we apply them to autonomous workflows. The paradigm shift here is stark. If you're in IT ops, traditional application performance monitoring is your bread and butter. You know, catching a slow API, finding out an endpoint failed, or seeing that a database query timed out. That stuff still matters. But agentic systems add entirely new layers of autonomous behavior. Suddenly, you desperately need operational visibility into tool retry storms, token cost burn rates, exactly what context the agent retrieved, and critically, whether any sensitive data got exposed along the way. It's a whole different ballgame. Moving right along to section 2, from prompts to traces. To actually get that level of operational visibility, we have to completely rethink our core unit of debugging. We have to move past the simple prompt. The crucial thing to understand is that a single prompt is basically just one frame in a much longer movie. Whereas a trace shows you the entire film of what the agent believed, planned, and executed. Think about it. An agent request is a highly complex workflow. It's classifying intent, it's querying a vector database, maybe pinging an external business API, and validating everything against safety rails. You absolutely cannot just look at the final answer anymore. You need that full end-to-end execution record. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Breaking a trace down into individual building blocks, what we call spans, is what finally gives us the surgical precision we need to root cause errors across these crazy multi-step workflows. If the agent fails, the trace tells you exactly which span blew up. Was it the retrieval span, the tool execution span? Pinpointing the exact operation is the absolute core of modern AI debugging. Okay, section 3, the new failure taxonomy. With our traces and spans firmly in place, we can finally start demystifying the real root causes of AI failures and latency. We've all heard the complaints. The AI is too slow, or costs are spiking. Well, breaking down the workflow time and cost shows exactly where that latency is hiding. And surprise, it's often in the retrieval wait times, tool execution, or orchestration loops, rather than the model inference itself. As cloud and ops professionals, you know that latency almost always maps to business process bottlenecks. If an agent is just sitting there waiting on a slow CRM lookup or a massive audit policy evaluation, the model isn't the problem at all. The workflow is. Because these AI workflows are so layered, you can't just throw your hands up and vaguely label everything an LLM error. It doesn't work. This modern failure taxonomy gives your incident response teams a tangible, specific vocabulary to actually fix the broken span. If every single bad outcome is just an LLM error, your observability setup is practically useless. Is it a tool rate limit? Is it an infinite loop retry storm? Having this specific vocabulary becomes your ultimate playbook for post-incident reviews. And this right here is a massive mindset shift. It is absolutely vital to capture detailed retrieval telemetry because a lot of times the model isn't broken at all, it was just handed terrible evidence. Think about it. If your vector database feeds the agent an outdated policy document, the agent didn't hallucinate, it just gave a highly accurate summary of the wrong data. Let's jump to section 4, production architecture and security. We need to see how all these concepts build into a robust setup that your security and compliance teams will actually sign off on. looking at a comprehensive 5-layer setup. We capture traces right at the framework level, protect the data instantly, pipe it out, analyze it for evaluation, and then finally correlate it with your broader APM and SIM operations. Notice how data protection isn't an afterthought, it's baked right into layer 2. AI observability isn't just an exercise in debugging, it's heavily, heavily intertwined with your baseline security posture. Database admins and security pros, listen up, because this is absolutely critical. Observability data can so easily morph into a massive, unauthorized shadow copy of your sensitive business data if you don't aggressively implement masking at these 3 specific points. You literally cannot just log everything anymore. You have to mask sensitive payloads before they ever leave your database or application boundary, ensuring your shiny new telemetry doesn't accidentally trigger a massive compliance violation. Which brings us to Section 5, Telemetry and Tooling Options. With the architecture clear, let's talk about the tools available to actually bring these layers to life in your environment. Now, specialized LLM tools are great for prompt evaluation, for sure, but adopting OpenTelemetry ensures your AI workloads aren't just sitting in some isolated silo, completely disconnected from your enterprise incident management. An agent request touches web apps, vector databases, identity providers, cloud APIs, the whole shebang. OpenTelemetry is becoming the shared language that stitches all of that together into one single coherent incident story. When you look at the broader tooling landscape, remember, there is no single silver bullet here. It's a strategic choice based entirely on where your data lives and how much portability you really need. If you need ironclad database security, well, leveraging built-in autonomous database controls keeps your data gravity totally secure. On the flip side, if your platform team is demanding infrastructure portability, OpenTelemetry-first tools are going to be your best bet. It really comes down to matching the tool to your enterprise's operational maturity. Finally, Section 6, your Day 1 action plan. Let's land the plane with a concrete checklist of what you absolutely must implement before your agent ever sees the light of day. If you're spinning up an agent from scratch today, jot this checklist down. This is your bare minimum telemetry survival kit for your first real production incident. Please, don't wait for some perfect, sprawling platform decision. Start capturing request IDs, specific prompt versions, retrieved chunks, and tool errors immediately. Without this foundational data, that 2:17 a.m. alert we talked about earlier, it'll be absolutely impossible to resolve. Ultimately, observability isn't just about debugging. It is your control plane for trust. So as you go out and build your next agentic system, you have to ask yourself, when production asks for proof, can you explain exactly how your AI agent behaved without accidentally creating a massive new privacy problem in the process? The next phase of enterprise AI isn't going to be won by flashy tech demos. It's going to be won by the teams who can securely, predictably, and transparently operate at scale. So use this blueprint and build with confidence.